Hello Hearthstone fans and welcome to the Skype One Nation of Gamers Hearthstone Academy Daily Recap for December 8th. I'm Mastergation joined by Racy and we're here on behalf of GamerSensei and we'll be bringing you a daily summary of questions and discussion topics from the Hearthstone Academy Skype group. You can join the group by simply adding Gaming with Skype on your Skype account. You'll also be entered to win a coaching lesson from either StrifeCrow or Frozen taking place on December 13th and 15th, as well as other giveaways. You can check out skype.onog.gg for more details. Our first topic today is regarding general strategy for Reno Lock mirrors. And, Reno Lock's been a very, very popular deck lately. A lot of people have been playing it to top 10 legend, and therefore you're going to run into a lot of Reno Lock mirrors, and it's actually a very intricate matchup. A lot of things to think about. What are some general guidelines that you think are important, Racy?
Well, I think one of the most important things is to try to mulligan correctly and make sure that you are going for your high impact 4-drops like Mountain Giant and Twilight Drake in your mulligan. And cards like Brand Kazakus need to be saved to go in combination with each other, because that's how you get the value to keep up with your opponent. If one person goes Brand Kazakus and the other person doesn't, I mean, you can just tell who's at a strict advantage there, right? The person who generally gets the most value will end up winning the game, or whoever has the highest impact cards where there's no answer. Like if I play a Mountain Giant on turn 4 and you cannot answer it, or you have a weak turn, like you play a worse 4-drop into it, say like a Refreshment Vendor, and I just get to hit your face and you just have to use multiple cards to deal with my single threats. That's kind of the swings that happen in the Reno Lock mirror. And the other important thing is to make sure you know what AoEs you have available to you and what your opponent has available to them. So say you know that your opponent has Shadow Flame or Twisting Nether. You don't want to overextend into that board. You want to kind of play around stuff. And then there's the more intricate plays where you start playing around combos like Mind Control Tech plus Dirty Rat.
Yeah.
Like the matchup can get very intricate. Like later in the game, you start to think about those things, especially at the higher level. You know your opponent has Mind Control Tech and Dirty Rat left in their deck and stuff like that, so you kind of know that they're saving for that combo, so you don't want to play into it, and there's just so much to think about during that matchup. And yeah, one other and very, very, very important lesson as well is to just make sure you're tapping a lot. Like turn 2, if you have a 2-drop or the option to tap in the mirror, you're going to always tap there.
Right,
the damage...
Right. No,
yeah,
I see a lot of people playing a Peddler on turn 2 versus tapping, and actually tapping is correct in the mirror instead of playing the Peddler.
Yeah, the pressure is usually irrelevant, especially since, I mean, it's a Reno deck. Like, they're just going to end up Renoing it at some point, and honestly, Reno's not really that important in the matchup outside of playing around combo, like a 20 damage burst combo from Leroy Faceless, Power Overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about playing around combo, because keeping track of power overwhelming is actually really important. Like, if they use their power overwhelming early on, you know that you have to play around less combo damage, for example. Another thing is also if they've peddlered, right? Actually, one scary thing about Brand is that they can Brand Peddler and potentially get an additional 1 or 2 more power overwhelmings. And so playing around combo damage is also a very important factor in the matchup. You want to pay attention to if they've played Emperor Thorson, because if they played Emperor Thorson, then as long as they've reduced one of their combo pieces, they will be able to do a full combo on 10 mana for 20 damage. And if they've peddlered, you might have to play around up to 28 damage. Versus if they haven't Emperor, the most they can do with a combo is just Leroy Faceless for 12 damage. So pay attention to their power overwhelming usage, pay attention to whether they've Thorsoned, and that's kind of how you should approach how much damage to play around with regards to the combo.
Yeah, and also one more key thing is to make sure you track their coin usage, because I was watching a match today between Cydonia and Nyman where Nyman held the coin the whole game, which told Cydonia that Nyman was holding combo because he was able to go Leroy, Power Overwhelming, coin Faceless, and kill him. So you kind of also have to pay attention to the coin. That's like a pseudo Emperor reduction in a way.
Yeah.
Just saving the coin.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very, very intricate matchup. And definitely now you kind of have some guidelines on how to play it well. Go out there and practice, and yeah, get better at the if you improve your Reno lock mirror, you'll definitely win a lot more ladder games. All right, our next topic today is when Reno gets rotated out, will people still play singleton decks? And well, I guess the first thing I would like to say about this is that Reno is actually a very important aspect of those decks in regards to countering aggro. Without that tool, yeah, I don't know. How valuable do you think the decks are going to be, Ray?
I don't think that they will be played at all, to be perfectly honest with you. I think aggro will always be prevalent in any given metagame to some degree, and a singleton deck is just too suboptimal to play. It lacks so much consistency. The reason why it's so good right now is because you have cards like Kazakus and Reno, which just provide so much power that the inconsistency of your deck is kind of irrelevant, in a sense, or at least the power of these singleton cards makes up for that. But without Reno, I mean, there's a reason why they're called Reno decks, right? Like, you need to be able to have that heal. Unless they bring back a very strong neutral healing into the game, I don't think singleton decks will see play once Reno is rotated.
Well, I mean, Blizzard is trying to push for singleton decks. I think when Reno rotates out, I mean, wouldn't you say there's a high probability that they reprint maybe like a slightly less impactful Reno? Let's say they just make it, a little bit like worse statted and maybe not healed to full. Do you think Reno would still be good?
That's really hard to say, honestly. I think if Reno gets, or singleton decks get multiple neutral healing cards that are very strong, then sure, it can be viable. But right now, if I was to look at it in a vacuum, Reno decks without Reno, 0% chance they be played.
Yeah, okay. I kind of have to agree with you there, yeah. It's definitely a very important staple of the deck. I hope that when Reno gets rotated out, they will reprint it in some fashion. Thanks to everyone in the Hearthstone Academy Skype group who participated, and if you love Hearthstone, we'd love to have you join the conversation. Simply add Gaming with Skype on Skype, and you'll be added to the Hearthstone Academy Skype group. Get in there and participate, and your discussion topics may be selected for tomorrow's episode. And if you're interested in joining the best esports coaching platform in the world, where you can get coached by myself, Ray C, and a number of other amazing senseis, make sure you sign up for GamerSensei using the promo code ONENATION for 25% off. That's ONENATION, all letters, all caps, no space. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.